Hello everyone, welcome to PinkUn Matchday live on this delightfully gloomy Tuesday afternoon here outside Carrow Road, where the coaches have pitched up ready to head to Nottingham Forest, where of course the Canaries play this evening, hoping to find their first win in 5 league games, I think it is, having lost their last 4. What, three defeats and a draw, Dave. Dave Freezer on the camera there doing a stellar work. Paddy Davitt's with us too. We're going to go and speak to some fans as well, which I think is only right and proper. We're not probably going to be here for when the coaches leave, because we've just found out that's about 3 o'clock. So, you know, it's interesting how many people are milling around so far ahead of kick-off, or kick-off for the departure anyway. Dave, should we try and get on to Coach 1? Shall we? I don't know if it is Coach 1. Should we have a look? But it's not too bad a trip to Forest, of course. There are far longer ones, as Preston fans will find out when they head down to Carrow Road on Saturday. Of course, Norwich back at home. But this is, do you want to get the sign on the front, Dave? This is Coach 1. Judy Trivett's on the phone. Looks like she's sorting out some very important stuff. There we are, Coach 1. Look at that. Shall we let's get a chat with the coach driver, because he said how much he wanted to chat with the coach driver. Hello, Coach 1. Yeah, they're very excited about tonight's game. Look at this, it's only half full. Dave, do you want to get in there? Oh, the coach driver's ushering you on. Oh, it's incredibly dark. There are people on there. Oh, look, the coach driver's putting on some lights. If you touch the screen, Dave, it might make it lighter. Yeah? If not, don't worry. Look at all the people. Hello, everyone. Hello. Yeah, look, they're cheery. They're looking forward to the game, aren't they? Let's have a word with the coach driver. What's your name, sir?
Tony.
Do you always drive Coach 1?
I do, actually, yes. Yeah, I am doing this.
It's a very important job, isn't it, Coach 1?
I was just watching the abuse from other colleagues, you see. Yeah,
is that your fellow bus drivers?
A colleague.
Okay, fair enough. Well, we like that. So as you drive Coach 1, does that mean you're the quickest?
No. Oh. No. I just arrived there. Okay. At the right time. No. Yeah, we're all about the same speed. Yeah,
that's good. That's good.
We don't race around.
This isn't too bad a journey, is it?
No, it's an easy one. Only about 2.5 hours, something like that. Yeah.
So what do you guys get to do when the game's on? Do you get to watch the game? Do you want to watch the game?
Some of us are going to watch the game, yes, but I personally am not a footballer fan. Okay. You know, but I enjoy the crowd, believe it or not. Yeah. Yeah.
Ah, he's going to get a big tip after this one.
Could you repeat that?
They're laughing, I'm afraid. So, okay, so what do you do during the game then, Tony?
I have something to eat, have a wander around, chew the fat with the rest of the lads. Yeah, just see what's happening. Yeah.
Lovely, kiddo. Well, I'm sure you're going to get. Which way you're going to go is probably the key thing. It's a big thing. That the journey.
Well, so it depends. We are going to go via the farm shop, then down to Grantham.
A17.
That's the one.
Is that your favourite road in the country?
It's not really. No. I'll say politely, it's not.
No, that's fair enough. Lovely, Tony. Well done. Okay, thanks for not cursing. He did warn me he was going to curse, but he didn't do that. Prediction. No, you're sitting in the front row, so sorry about that, guys. But what's your name?
Dave.
Oh, Dave. What's your name, sir?
Dave.
Dave. Hey, it's Dave coaches. Dave coaches. Is there another Dave? Who's called Dave? Oh, there's a third Dave. Brilliant. So 4 Daves. Okay, Dave 1. I'm going to call you. Do you want to give us a prediction? What are you looking forward to tonight?
I think 2-2. We'll be lucky to get a draw.
Lucky to get a draw. Yeah, kind of symptomatic of how things are going on. Oh, we've got more people going on. No, come on. It's more important that you're on the coach than we get in your way. There we go. The 2 gentlemen there, very excited about tonight's game, I'm sure. Dave 2, what do you reckon?
Could be anything, no one knows the way they're playing. You can't predict anything really, can you?
No, that's good. Well, that's nice, that's sitting on the fence. Come on. Oh, hello. You've got to say your names as you go past.
Janet.
Hello, Janet, nice to see you.
See you too.
Here we go. This is Craig, isn't it?
Hello, yes, it's me. Yeah.
What, we get a prediction on, then you can come on the bus.
Win for Norwich, 2-0.
2-0, there we go. Well done for predicting a win, Craig, that's good. Right then, we'll leave it all to you. Have a safe trip, everyone. Yeah, thank you, Dave, for thank you. Good luck, Tony. Have fun. That's the coaches. Enjoy that, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, I think we may have ambushed them a little bit, but...
Yeah, that's how this job works.
I enjoyed it.
Look at Paddy looking all suave. Shall we have a quick chat with Pad? Let's do that. Your hair is...
There's a lot of revelry going on there. I could hear a lot of whooping and hollering.
They're enjoying laughing at us, to be honest. Very sharp haircut, Pad. It's nice.
Oh, thanks, mate. Yeah, well, couldn't be outdone by you, my friend.
Don't be silly. Right, we've got some messages actually on here. Should we go through some of those while you're here? Chris Newby, greetings from Londrina in Brazil.
Wow.
It's named after London, I guess. He's going to be following tonight. Tony Bisham, we better not pass the ball slowly again, Michael. Well, let's hope not. And that actually, I mean, I wasn't at Colney, you guys were yesterday. That sort of came up, didn't it?
Yeah, one of the central themes. Yeah, put it to Maddison himself, and agreed, open and honest, that on one or two occasions, as we know in the past, he's quite keen on self-analysis. So he'd watched the game back and felt he'd dwelt on the ball too many times and slows down the attacks. And for Maddison, read most of Norwich's midfield on Saturday. So. But it's not just Saturday, is it? I mean, I know you've been sort of trumpeting that one for the last few weeks, and it's true. You know, they are too predictable, they are too slow in possession, and it's too easy for teams now to set up against them. So we've heard a lot of talk in the intervening period since Barnsley. I see some action tonight.
Indeed, and I mean, these guys, what are there, four coaches heading along to Nottingham? I mean, just speaking to some of them, the sense of, well, not really sure what we're going to get. Well, we might get a draw. You can sense that they want a positive result, but it has been a bit difficult in recent weeks. What was the mood you got from Daniel and James at Colney, though? Because I think they all seem relatively calm about how things are going.
Yeah, I mean, Maddison feels it's one result from turning again. You know, he was very positive. Farke, yet there was a positivity to him, but I thought there was also a bit of realism that, you know, he's clearly getting to the end of his tether a little bit with it, as a lot of fans are, particularly here at this place, because 6 games without a win isn't acceptable, really. Whatever process is going on or work in progress. So I think we need to start seeing some positive, as he kept talking about, upward curves in the wave rather than a downward spiral. Because otherwise, you're going to get to Christmas, and I mean, already now. I mean, let's be honest. You know, the top 2, you can put that to bed. So it's the top 6 is going to be way off. You know, if they don't start to put some results together and just give a bit of belief back to everybody, really, because it's you know, the last 4 games haven't been good enough, and all that optimism is, for me, is pretty much evaporated. So that's, I guess, to flow into what you're saying there, is probably the mood music today going to Forest. Nobody knows today, because they've seen this group of players and this head coach go to Sheffield United, Middlesbrough, Ipswich, dig out positive results, but they've also seen, sadly, Bolton of late on the road. And closer to home, obviously, Barnsley. So, yeah, I would say there's a little bit of apprehension around the place prior to today's game. That's what I get.
And it's a curious mix, because they did lose last time out of Bolton, but I guess they have only lost, 1 in 5, 6? My memory's failing me now, but they had, was it 5 wins before that, wasn't it? 4 wins before that? A lot of wins, anyway, away from home. So, actually, away from home. But the pressure is on because of what they're failing to do at Carrow Road, isn't it?
Yeah, well, ultimately, what's happening in that run was you basically mitigate the fact that you're not winning games and not entertaining your fans here more often than not by picking up 3 points away from home. You know, it's the kind of the reverse of win your home games and try and pick up a point or 2 away from home. So conversely, if Bolton's the start of a downward trend away from home, then the fact they're not doing it here, that's why there will be pressure on, because it's not, you know, it's not a recipe for anything other than mid-table mediocrity. Let's be brutally honest about it.
No, which some fans believe is what we're going to get this season. We'll have to see if that's actually what bears out to fruition. Steve Jones, what time do you leave? Not slowly, nice, quick. I don't know what I mean. But what time are we leaving? We're going to leave about 3, aren't we? It's not too bad a journey. Do we know which way we're going? Which way are we going to go?
Yeah, we'll be going 11, 14, A1, A52, 2 hours 50. Job done.
No, noticeably avoiding the A17 then.
Yeah, no. One trip this season to Bolton was probably enough for us on that one. So yeah, no. Hopefully this is one of them, in terms of Norwich and where they go away from home. It's never that local, is it? But this is reasonably doable.
Yes, reasonably doable. Let's have a look. Adam Harvey says a 2-2 draw tonight, which would be good. Although 2
goals for Norwich.
Well, yeah. 4 in a game. Hasn't happened for a while. And Lloyd Cooper, start Wiltshire. Sorry about the spelling. You're not far off, to be honest, Lloyd. Let's bring up my handy graphic of an 11 I've predicted. And I know Dave has already mentioned that he thinks it might be a 3 at the back today. But what do you think? I don't know if you can see that very well. But basically, we've got Watkins in. It's a 4-1-4-1 again, because I've run out of holding midfielders.
Yeah,
as has Daniel Farke. Yeah.
Well, I mean, today obviously they're getting linked with the lad at Wigan, Morsey. So you know, defensive midfielder. It wouldn't at all surprise me if they're looking in that area of the field in January, because you know, that underlines it today. You know, you take Tribal out, you take Tete's the one. Obviously, Louis Thompson not been anywhere near it, sadly through injury this season. And it's looking a bit bare bones, isn't it? So yeah, Reid will have to come in, I think, and it's just to sort of marry what you two boys are saying, how they decide to format that, really. I mean, they finished, didn't they, with 3-5-2 on Saturday, but Forest a 4-2-3-1 by all accounts. can he go 4-2? In terms of the two in front of the back four, not really. You know, it's square pegs in round holes for me, and that feels a little bit like the case of late. Hence why possibly they are looking at defensive midfielders in January. But the good thing I think specifically tonight, is that by all accounts Forest are a possession-based team and like to dominate the ball under Mark Warburton. So, you know, you would fear if they were going to, I don't know, we'll say one of the lesser lights who are a bit more physically based in terms of their approach, because that midfield I think would get bullied out of it. But if Forest want to get the ball down and play, then there's still enough creativity in that side. I'd personally like to see Wes in tonight. I mean, there's been a lot of debate about Rancic since the weekend, but Wes didn't feature on the weekend, didn't really play for Ireland on the international break. Get him in, because they can't be any less proactive in terms of what they're doing with the ball at the minute. So get him in. Madison will play, obviously, and to pick up the point of the guy there, for me it's the wide areas. Do you go with Wiltshire? Do you go with Marley Watkins? Do you go with Josh Murphy still? You know, he's got some dilemmas in that area of the pitch. Obviously Oliveira will start, you know, barring any relapse that we don't know about fitness wise, and it's really, for me, it's getting enough support around him, because he was too isolated at the weekend. Yeah, you'd hope he'd enjoy coming up against his former side as well, Nelson, as he has done in the past. We know that Tom Tribal is out injured with a hip injury. James Husband is suspended as well, so they're the kind of misses. Did we sort of see on Saturday that Tom Tribal struggled in a holding midfield role on his own? Not just Saturday for me personally. I think without Tete there, he looks suspect, to be diplomatic, when they lose a ball, when they get turned over. Physically, pace-wise, he hasn't got the, you know, it's too often now the theme of late is that he's desperately trying to get back and track back to attacking midfielders who've got the other side of him, and never does. You know, Barnes' goal Saturday, there was a lot of individual elements to that, but the abiding memory for me was the boy George Thorne, I think it was. It might be, but the number 10, I think it was. Moncourt, cheers, David. And he basically, literally just glided across the face of Norwich's box and picked out the boy Barnes to slot, but running alongside him for a good 10-15 yards was Tribal and got nowhere near him. And what can you do if he hasn't got that in his armoury? You know, again, we're flowing that into the Vrancic debate. There's things that Vrancic can do, i.e. with the ball, but there's a lot of things he can't do, and Tribal's in the same category. But ultimately, flows back to the recruitment. These guys have come in because for whatever reason they haven't done it at other clubs, or, you know, they're not the let's be brutally honest, they're not the top draw quality that the likes of Wolves are able to go out and buy, or Middlesbrough, you know, the big spending clubs in this division. That is the new reality. So with that comes pluses and minuses, and unfortunately with Tribal, you have to say it, there's enough compelling evidence now that without the ball he's not really doing a great deal to protect his back four. This does seem a harder trip than it would have been last season as well with Forest, because Mark Warburton seems to have got them going a little bit. They're having a much better season. They're quite a young side. They've got a few lone players. Kieran Dowell especially has caught the eye. They've got a few bright sparks there, haven't they? Yeah, they have, him particularly, obviously on loan from Everton, key figure in England's under-20s World Cup winning side in the summer. And I believe Murphy's back tonight. I think he was rested at the weekend by all accounts, and Tim Closer will know all about Daryl Murphy from last season. So, yeah, at home, I mean, they're kind of, I think they're just only a place above Norwich, if my memory serves. So they're in that sort of middle area, but at home they've won the last three, and one of those wins was against Sheffield United, who, let's be honest, are probably, in terms of expectations and playing above their expectations at the start of the season, they're the standout team in the division. So if they're able to put away Sheffield United recently at the City Ground, then it's going to be a tough ask. Absolutely. Let's get some questions in. Or Eddie Winsheffel, I hope I've pronounced that right, Eddie, great name. A must-win for Norwich, which is probably raising the bar there, Eddie. And Steve Jones, Nelson Oliveira to score against his old team, question mark? We'll hope so, of course. Carl Howlett, going to be yet another defeat, such a shame. Let's hope not, Carl. But you know, hey, you might prove right. We're not to say, okay. There we go. We'll just go home then. Josh Murphy, I did want to touch on that. Lots said, I'm sure you probably touched on Josh Murphy in your video yesterday after Colney too. I mean, do you expect him to play tonight? And is there much? It seems like a strange situation because, you know, he's doing okay and he is chipping in with the goals. It's probably the performances around that some fans are, you know, not too happy with. Yeah, I mean, it is. You look at the raw stats, and I think 7 goals. He's top scorer. But you know that you could have had so many more, and it's, you know, it's that frustration. Yeah, we did touch on it yesterday. It's that frustration that you know how good he can be because you've seen it. You know, most memorably for me this season was the goal at Arsenal. The manner he just composed, ran through, never a second thought in his head, I'm just going to chip this keeper, and to do that shows a lot of self-belief. And you know he's got that in his locker because we've seen it, but in fitful bursts, that's the problem, I think, and that's where the frustration is with a lot of the fans, and probably with the lad himself, because he knows he's capable of a far more consistent level of performance, and sadly he's not matching those expectations of himself, I'm sure, and also the fans. But in that regard, he isn't alone, and that's probably why we're in this little bit of a lull. Called it treading water myself at the minute, you know, where there's too many who aren't hitting the heights that we've seen periodically during the season, and maybe in Josh's case previously. But you know, do you keep playing him? I think he will play tonight, yeah, because again they're limited in terms of what they can do across midfield, and if you catch him on a good night, he can score goals, he can create assists. So you have to persevere, which is I think the message Farke was trying to get across yesterday. You know, there's a player who, if he was the finished article, he wouldn't be playing for Norwich, and that's not trying to be disrespectful to Norwich, but it's a little bit like his brother. You know, he has everything in his locker to play in the Premier League. Alex Neil said it, I wouldn't disagree. But at the minute, he is nowhere near the finished article, and so with that, again, like we just touched on with Tribal and Vrancic, there's pluses and there's negatives to playing Josh Murphy. But I think you have to persevere with him, because if the penny can drop and he can find that consistency, then a bit like his brother in his best spells last season, he will influence games at this level.
Just got the impression that there's a feeling around the place that Saturday was a bit of a one-off, and they want to put it right tonight. So we'll see if that is how it delivers with their performance and result. Anything else you want to say, Pad? Prediction? Do you want to sling in a prediction, or?
Yeah, 2-2 is a bit optimistic.
Oh dear.
I think they might get done 2-1 maybe, 2-1, and roll on to Preston and Alex. The
Alec Neil derby. Brilliant stuff. Thank you very much, Pad. We've got loads from Daniel Farke and James Maddison over at the PinkUn YouTube channel, as well as Dave and Pad chewing the fat after yesterday's trip to Colney. Here is a little bit of what they had to say, and we'll be back in a moment to talk about the rest of the championship.
Yeah, Nottingham is a big club with a great history, and yeah, they're full of potential, and they're in a good shape, and especially in the home games, they are not struggling at home. They are pretty good at home, and it's a hard task, but we proved it several times. So when we're not there with 100%, we can have poor performances. That's quite normal. Each and every team can have this, but when we are there with 100% working style and discipline and aggressiveness and concentration, we can have wins like in Middlesbrough, or a brilliant derby win, or at Reading, or even at the Emirates we were close to a win. So we know we have the ability to get some points out of each and every stadium. We know probably in this situation tomorrow, after being there on a tough run right now, so without a win in the last 4 league games, we're probably not the 100% favorite in this game tomorrow, and we accept this. But we don't drive there to have just a close loss or whatever. No, we want some points, and I think we are able to get some points, and we want the second unbeaten game, and we want to improve our situation, and hopefully we get some points.
I think you hit the nail on the head. It felt like a defeat, to be honest. I mean, we came in on Sunday and it was just a bad taste in everyone's mouth, just because when you go up and then you concede, especially the way we did straight after half time, it's never nice, and it was just quite a bad feel about the game. But we've got to put that behind us now. We've got, as you said, Forest away, which is a tough game. They've got a really good side. I know a couple of their players actually from the England setup. They've got a couple of players in there, and they've got a really good side. So hopefully we can go there and give the travelling fans something to take back tonight.
They're quite a technical team as well. I think they're one of the only teams in the division who have got some higher possession and pass completion than you guys. Yeah. So do you think that might play into your hands in a way?
We'll have to see. I mean, yeah, if you look at their squad and their regular players, they've got a lot of technical players on the pitch, especially in forward areas. They've got a lot of talented boys, and they tend to score a lot of goals. So maybe this will help us a little bit, instead of having to break down a block with possession. You know, if they're coming out a bit more, it means we can try and circle the pressure like we have done on the road before, and maybe hit them on the counter a little bit. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting game, and two good sides. So.